This is a professional production, okay? Quiet on the set. Quiet on the set. 2 dudes.
1 bass.
We bring you the Olinto P Bass by Bella. So, yeah.
Okay, you got to explain to me. There's a lot of names on this bass.
Yeah, there's a few people involved. So, Olinto was one of the Bella founders' grandfather's name was Olinto. It's a family name, okay? So Eric Coco runs Bella Strings right now, and it was I believe maybe his grandfather or
R. Coco.
Yeah, R. Coco. One of those, yes, exactly. So that's where the Olinto name comes from. It's a family name. This is a bass made by the Bella company, but it was actually handmade by Mas Hino. Mas Hino, M-A-S, and then H-I-N-O. Mas Hino probably became the most famous because he built for Pensa Sur guitars back in the day, or Pensa Sur when it was, and those basses are ridiculously sought after. So he is just an incredible luthier. He makes a lot of instruments by hand, does a lot of different guitars. He's worked on a bunch of instruments. I mean, he basically has this just incredible reputation.
Okay.
As a luthier, repair guy, builder, everything. So he hand built this bass, and then you have James Carbonetti of Carbonetti Guitars and Finishes who did the finishing.
This kind of relic.
Yeah,
it's two-layer paint job.
It's a 2-layer paint job, kind of like Fender did back in the day. So it's a sunburst, right? Looks like a sunburst underneath, and then they oversprayed it white. And kind of relicking job, and you got some see-through where, there would have been some, nicks and stuff, and there would have been some, especially right here when you're playing, that would have kind of worn through the finish, or the first finish. So, yeah, and that's it. The pickup is also hand-wound by Mas Hino, and the story goes, and I'm pretty sure it was actually hand-wound, scatter-wound on a sewing machine, on a Singer sewing machine.
Oh, wow.
So that's the way they used to do it back in the day, correct?
Essentially, yes.
Essentially, yeah.
I mean, they had a fancier machine than a sewing machine at Fender.
But I think that it was
hand-guided.
That's what it was, yeah. So this bass was kind of sent to me to do some reviews, and the second I played it, it was one of those that it never left, and I contacted Bella, Eric Coco, the powers that be, and I just bought it. It was one of those basses that was so I don't know.
Money flew out of your wallet. You had to have it.
I had to have it
now.
Yeah,
must have now.
Exactly. It just plays great. It feels great. It's just and he basically this is a couple of years old. They've made a number of them, maybe 100 or so. I think I'll look into it. But this was one of the early ones. This was sent to Bass Player Magazine for a review, and it was basically I think hand-carved, handmade by Mas.
Wow.
Yeah. So maybe maybe some quick cutting and then, bandsaw or whatever, but then everything was by hand, and it's literally a 63 Fender precision bass.
Wow. 63.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But made now, yeah. And then it's got, I think this is a Fender bridge that's kind of relicked, rusted out, and
threaded saddles. I see.
Yeah, threaded saddles, and this has the Bella James Jamerson flat wounds, which are like a 56 to a 110 or something like that. I mean, it's thick rope, but it's just they don't feel. I mean, do you feel like they're that?
No,
they don't feel.
You got the action pretty low on this.
The action is low, man. Yeah,
which is good, because. These are some burly cables you got going on.
And I tried round wounds on it, and it just, I don't know. I feel like this bass just needs to have these flats and has to kind of just have that. And it gives it that sound. And I play it on all kinds of gigs. Top 40, whatever. It doesn't have to be a, I don't know, a Motown thing. I mean, it really cuts, man. It's just one of those basses that the second I played it, I knew I had to have.
You fell in love.
I fell, yeah. And I don't know. Does that happen often?
It does happen.
It
happens. Not a lot.
But this was just one of those. I was like, I gotta have it. So.
Which is saying a lot for a guy that's played 1 million basses.
I played, yeah.
And owned 1 million basses. Maybe not 1 million, but
100,000, 500,000, 500,000. No, but both of us. I mean, we kind of have the luxury that, you know, we get a lot of instruments and a lot of luthiers and a lot of people. Yeah, I mean, we've played a lot of basses, and you just
played them at gigs.
At gigs,
which is crucial. There's no substitute for being able to take your instruments out into the real world.
That's true. You know, played them on gigs, played them on in real world situations. Let's put it that way. I just don't want to be in my room, you know, noodling, because you can make anything sound good, you can make anything sound bad. So in the real world, it's just and this bass just. It's a beast. It cuts through. It's insane, man. And I just love the way it plays, man. It just feels so good. It's one of those magic basses. Kerry Nordstrand, you know, refers to Mas Hino as Moss's magic, you know, and it's true. It's just one of those builders that really knows. They know what they're doing. They know the shape. They know, you know, and there's a bunch out there, man. Kerry Nordstrand. You know, Chris Ellender, Pat Wilkins. I mean, there's, you know, the names go on, and you just know they know their stuff. So,
right. So in other words, basically what this guy did is he made his take on a 63 P bass.
Yeah,
right.
63P,
and
to the T, like that's what it is.
And maybe probably refined it a little bit and took out some of the
weird anomalies from the
old days.
40, 50 years of aging and problems. Yeah, it has the reverse tuners, which is really nice. You know, reverse. What is it?
Are these hip shot tuners?
I'm not sure. They could be, but they say LaBella on them, so maybe they were licensed by somebody. But yeah, has the gloss finish, and
is this nitrocellulose lacquer on
it? You know what? I'm pretty sure it is.
Did you put these dings on the back of the neck?
No, the dings came with it, man. It came like it was. Yeah, it's
hand built by Mas Hino.
Yep. Yeah, hand built by Mas Hino. I mean, it's.
So now,
and this is the first time you're playing it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Look at the string tree is a
buffalo head nickel.
Buffalo head nickel.
It just has these things, and this bass makes me happy. This bass really makes me happy.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yes.
I want to get one of these basses.
Okay.
What do I do? How do I get one?
We'll contact Eric Coco, and seriously, yeah.
Well, I mean, like me as let's say a person on this street.
Go to LaBella, just do a search for Bella Olinto bass, and then they just go to the website, and that's
Are these available on the site? Or
these are available on the site. Contact them, yes, absolutely. A friend of mine is having one built with a low B, so it's going to be B-E-A-D, because he plays a lot of 5 strings, and he doesn't feel comfortable going back and forth, so he just wanted low Bs, that's going to be
sick.
That's going to be ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, so assess it for me there, Howard. You've played a lot of basses. You've played a lot of P basses. You've had probably vintage P basses in your...
Yeah, I've had a few.
Yeah. You've had... Yes.
This thing plays great. It's like a 63 jazz bass. I mean, P bass. Sorry.
P bass. I know.
I don't know why I got jazz bass on the mind. But like, I don't know. Like I was saying earlier, it seems to kind of... It feels like a vintage bass, but it yet fixes some of those weird anomalies.
Kind of refined, brand new instrument, you know.
I mean, it looks like it has a 7 1/4 radius, but it doesn't really feel like it. It feels nice and comfortable.
It's one of those, like, literally the first time I played it, I mean, that story is true. I took it out of the bag to just do the review, to just kind of plug it in, and I played it for a couple of minutes, put it back in the bag, and I just instantly was like, I need this bass. Mine. This is not leaving my house. This is mine. I'm going to gig the crap out of it, and it's just going to get used and abused, because it just feels so good. And I'm not the type of guy that likes the flat wound P bass kind of thing, but there's something about this bass that when I play it, it's just like, oh, dude. I mean,
yeah, the flat wounds definitely add a lot of character to this thing. I'm not a big flat wound guy myself, but they sure do work on this thing.
And like I said, I took them off, put round wounds on it, and I put these back on. And I think these will be on there. I'm not going to change the strings. These are going to stay on there.
You don't have to.
You don't have to, yeah. And you know, I've contacted Eric Coco a couple of times, just asking him some questions, and couldn't be a nicer person. Yeah. That helps. That's tone all the way up, tone kind of halfway.
Definitely has a full sound without being too clanky and fret soundy.
Yeah.
Fretty.
Yeah, and then
Come on, play Brick House. Brick House.
no.
What?
So it's just I know. I'm just ignoring that.
No.
I'm ignoring just like that would be the same as you asking for Freebird.
Freebird.
Yeah, I'm just ignoring it.
I'd
Nope.
like to hear that
No, I'm
now.
just ignoring it. So I think the body is an alder body.
Alder body.
Yeah.
This looks like just a plain maple neck.
Yeah. And then it has the clay dots. Got I'm thinking rosewood, but are you thinking?
I don't know. It looks like Brazilian. It could be, but I don't know. We'd have to scratch it up a little bit to get
clay dots.
Smell it. Yeah, I was going to comment on that.
I think those are the clay dots. So very, keeping it traditional.
The elusive clay dots that no one seems to ever be able to figure out.
Yeah.
Looks like this guy's Moss has figured out
how to
make those clay dots.
Yeah. I mean, it's such an incredibly simple instrument that. I mean, honestly, dude, dude, Squier Vintage Modified P Bass with new pickups and a great setup. It's gonna kill. It's gonna be great. But this is just refined, like ultra refined is the way that I would describe it, because you kind of want to. It's like justifying why would I have this instead of a Squier P Bass.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the second you play it, you realize that this is it's just a refined instrument. It's just
every step of this construction has been refined and gone over.
Yeah,
and re-gone over, and
which there's nothing wrong with the other ones. Nothing wrong with it.
Right.
This just has this it factor. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you're playing it for the first time, so yeah. And it makes me work a little bit too. I like the thicker, I like the big, the wide,
the wide neck.
The wide neck and the wide, it makes me work a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? Bone nut, and yeah.
It's beautiful, Steve.
Yeah, it's just
really is something else.
I'm glad you. I didn't realize you had never played it, so I'm glad I brought it for the show. Yeah.
Awesome, just awesome. It's beautifully relic.
I know it's really cool.
I like the headstock as well.
And I play the crap. I honestly play the crap out of this bass.
Yeah.
It's really good.
You gonna play it this weekend?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Nice.
I'll probably play it on 2 or 3 of the gigs. So, yeah. It's in heavy rotation for real work. I've recorded with it. I think I actually lent it to somebody to do a couple of recordings too. So, lent to a buddy that needed an old P bass, and it beyond nailed it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was killer. So, yeah, man. I don't know any other. It's just.
I'm impressed.
It's an incredibly refined instrument that it's just good. Good.
Sure
I like your reaction to it, and I like that you hadn't played it before, so it's very cool. Yeah.
Wow. Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. I love it.
It's a good P bass.
I might keep it.
Yeah. No. Pry it out of my dead hand. It's actually going with me. It's going to be cremated with me.
Oh,
That makes sense. It's going to be powdered with me with not the metal. The metal will be scattered around my body.
Okay.
But the wood parts. Anyways, yeah. So anyways, 2 dudes, 1 bass, right?
2 dudes, 1 bass.
Oh yeah, and who are you?
Howard Ulyate.
Steve Arajo, and we are 2 dudes.
1 bass.
Thanks for joining, and I'm super stoked that we were able to bring this. This is just
Thanks for bringing it by, Steve.
It's a rad bass. So all right, guys, we'll see you later. Goodbye.
Bye.